Hey, what's up guys, Ruff here. So today we're going to be talking about a game development studio that has essentially nuked its own chances for success overnight. This happened because several members of their team have had public meltdowns over people, including Elon Musk, questioning their woke agenda. Now, the game that they're working on currently is called Avowed. Now, this game releases in February of next year, and it's being criticized for being woke, and the tags on it are certainly not helping. The first couple of tags on Steam being LGBTQ+, political, and then politics. Now, what's interesting here, and it's a real catch-22 for the studio, users can actually recommend tags, but developers hold the power to remove them. And in this case, they are basically damned if they do, damned if they don't. Do they keep the tags and look like a woke game and lose a lot of support? Or do they remove the tags and piss off all of their activist comrades? But anyways, this headline is where we're going to start here. Avowed art director Matt Hansen admits to wanting to make Elon Musk mad and hints game is ultra woke. Yeah, what a great way to spend millions of dollars and all of your artistic vision to piss off some billionaire because you're angry about him criticizing woke stuff. It is a recipe for disaster. Now let's look at the Blue Sky account of Matt Hansen. So a lot of people, especially woke users, are going over to Blue Sky as a Twitter alternative, and they think that they're in an echo chamber and nobody's going to see their unhinged posts. Unfortunately, a lot of people are discovering these Blue Sky posts and are exposing them. So look at his bio alone. Level 36, lover and maker of things. Art daddy at Obsidian Entertainment, art directing Avowed. Now, this looks like the average bio of a Discord mod, not some 36-year-old man in the gaming industry. It's very, very weird, but you can see the kinds of designs he is making for this game. Stunning and brave, as expected, and a lot of people are mocking these, as well as basically they're like a new crop of Concord characters. Concord lives on, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, now we go to the former team lead at World of Warcraft, Mark Kern, who began this entire meltdown from this art director where he says, I'm drawing a line. I'm rejecting any game that has pronouns in it, and you grammar Nazis know what I mean. Stop being stupid. I don't care if the game is good. A message must be sent. Pronouns promote the woke mind virus, and gamers must send a clear message. And what's featured here is, of course, pronouns being injected into Avowed, and this would blow up much bigger than I would assume Mark Kern ever thought when he made this tweet, because Elon Musk would, quote, retweet with this message saying, having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable. And this tweet would gather nearly 15 million views. So it got a lot of attention, including some attention from Matt Hansen on Blue Sky, who said this with a screenshot of Elon's tweet saying, sickos.jpg. I wanted so badly to make him mad with my game, and I cannot believe it actually happened. Just wait until you see the default, you said little shit. So I can imagine this person so angry at Elon Musk. They're fuming so much that their hands are literally shaking. They can't even type out these words properly. But this, again, is a very bizarre and pathetic thing to have. Like this mindset of, I'm going to use my artistic skills to make a game to spite a billionaire because he dares to criticize wokeism in games. Very, very bizarre. And down here, he adds a reply saying, anyway, Avowed comes out on February 18th of next year. Give it a whirl. If you ain't afraid, afeared of the woke mind virus. Again, what is going on at Blue Sky? Is there something in the water is like causing them to not be able to string together a coherent sentence without grammar or spelling errors? But anyways, you can see that they are very upset. And also this game comes out at a hilarious time. Much like with Dustborn and Concord coming out on the same week a few months ago. In February, on the 14th, we're getting the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then 4 days later, on the 18th, we're getting Avowed. So I think it's going to be a repeat of what happened a few months ago with those other titles. And I think it's going to be a woke disaster for both of those releases. But let's continue on, okay? So people also started dredging up some older tweets from Matt Hansen's Blue Sky account. Like I said, they don't think anyone's looking at these accounts. It's been an echo chamber for the very woke people for quite some time now. But he said this referring to an Elon Musk tweet where Elon said, "It should not be acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist against white guys." And then Matt Hansen on March 30th of this year would say this, "Oh, Elon, you sweet summer child, this will only embolden me, you sad sack of shit." So you can see how much wokeism really does destroy the brain, right? Their entire belief system, their entire motivation when it comes to creating art is based around spiting other people and also just admitting that they're doing what many consider illegal practices involving how they treat potential clients, how they treat their games, so on and so forth. And you can see Elon would respond to this today, this morning, responding to a screenshot of that interaction saying he is confessing to illegal behavior won't end well for him. And also keep in mind, Elon Musk has a pretty good connection to the Trump administration. They'll be back in office in a few months. So we'll see where that goes or if that has any effect on anything we're talking about today. But going further, it would get even worse. This is a screenshot captured by Asmongold's coverage of some of these related topics since Matt's account has been nuked on Twitter, where one of his swan song tweets here was, "Reminder to black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice. My DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods." So as always, there's nothing more pathetic than a self-hating white person. I feel a little empathy because I feel like they've been brainwashed, but this behavior is just beyond pathetic. And also in this, they are admitting that they are prioritizing their applications and portfolio reviews here based on the color of someone's skin. Having a certain skin color is giving you either an advantage or a disadvantage in this process. And also you might have noticed that this person named Josh Sawyer retweeted what Matt said, and this person is also connected to Obsidian. They are the studio design director of Obsidian, which is insane. It's like the whole crew is showing up to defend one another. And of course, Elon would quote a screenshot of that interaction or that series of interactions and would say, while tagging the CEO of Microsoft saying, "This is illegal." And of course, if you didn't know already, in 2018, Microsoft acquired Obsidian Entertainment. So that falls on Microsoft when you start hearing all these things going on with how they treat certain employees. And of course, if you look at any of the Civil Rights Act, any of the sections, you will find when it comes to unlawful employment practices, you can find this section right here. Employer practices. It shall be unlawful employment practice for an employer to fail or refuse to hire or to discharge any individual or otherwise to discriminate against any individual with respect to his compensation terms, conditions, or privileges of employment because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, or two, to limit, segregate, or classify his employees or applicants for employment in a way which would deprive or tend to deprive any individual of employment opportunities or otherwise adversely affect his status as an employee because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. What does that sound like? Well, here we have practices in the company where the skin color of employees and potential employees are being prioritized or not prioritized based on what that color of skin is. Unfortunately, the big downside here is surprisingly violating any of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It doesn't really have any significant punishment, especially if it ends up falling over to Microsoft. But anyways, like I said, who knows what the future holds for this kind of stuff. But it gets worse. More members of Obsidian coming out to make fools out of themselves. So as pointed out here by Madam Savvy, the actual the social media manager over at Obsidian would get into some very bizarre drama where we have this tweet that they made in 2020 showing some members of their team. Madam Savvy would quote that simply saying, "Hello, Obsidian staff. Let's crack open the Oreo basket and see what we have inside." Oh. And then within minutes, they deactivate and delete that post. They completely nuke their account after being looked at for 1 second by someone potentially criticizing them. Very weird stuff, but you can see they're still active on their other accounts on Instagram, for example, where they are still claiming to be the social media manager at Obsidian, which is very bizarre because if you're the social media manager, why are you deactivating your Twitter account after getting looked at for 2 seconds by potential critics? But it gets even weirder. So then we now have the communications manager at Obsidian, again, within minutes of those previous posts, also privating their account and leaving this is pretty much their swan song on their account from earlier this month, saying, "Some might see racist jokes as harmless, but they perpetuate harmful ideas and stereotypes. Rather than being funny, they keep negative narratives alive and create an environment where casual racism is accepted." Wow, isn't that ironic coming from someone at Obsidian, because they have multiple employees within their ranks sharing and also stating themselves that people should be less able to get hiring benefits based on the color of their skin, based on the fact they're a white or they're a man. And it's so ironic to see this person trying to virtue signal about treating people differently based on the color of their skin, because the call is coming from inside the house, Shyla. But anyways, it gets even worse. So as Mark Kern points out here, a former WoW game designer is reacting to the situation and engaging with Matt Hansen as all of this was going down. You can see their Blue Sky account here, Hamlet, gender fluid pronouns, any, and they are very neurodivergent. So basically anything they say, they're not responsible for. Obviously, that's why you put it in the bio, just like many people do on Twitter. But this is what they're talking about. You can see the screenshot here, where Matt Hansen says, "I will petition for this on every game I make," referring to pronouns. And Hamlet says, "Pronoun selector independent of body type was something I tried to push for before leaving WoW. At any rate, I think it should essentially be table stakes for new character creation systems being made now." Yeah, no thanks. Please stay away from World of Warcraft. I'm glad they got rid of you, because this is something that absolutely no one wants. We already have the body type A and B in World of Warcraft, which is an absolute mistake. But now pronoun selectors independent of that, get that crap out of here. Nobody's interested. But of course, this is where we are with the Obsidian situation. It is an absolute mess for them, and it is completely self-created. They went out of their way to have multiple employees melt down over criticism, melt down over wokeism in their company being called out, and also melting down over their very strange internal systems when it comes to the race of people that they're interacting with professionally. It's all very strange, but it's not too surprising. And we know we got a Concord 2.0 on our hands right here. Everyone's going to be praying for the downfall of this game. This is what happens when you make it clear you hate a very good section of your potential customers based on intrinsic values like the color of their skin or their gender. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.